Let's see if we are live. Are we live on the internet? I don't know. I'm playing with my headset mic this time because a buddy of mine was talking to me yesterday saying that the sound was really low. Couldn't hear anything. So anyway, today's talk I'm probably not gonna. It's more of a getting your day started kind of thing with the cancer. I don't say with the cancer, but it's like so kind of what do I say? Trying to change my morning routine. So rather than how I wake up normally and get my day started, it's going into something different. So if you know me a little bit, then I actually watch and listen to a lot of motivational stuff. Uh, my latest one is with David Goggins. Well, I don't think the latest one. I've always liked this guy. I recently found out about him not too long ago, but I kind of like his mentality. It's pretty awesome. The guy's a rock star and all that stuff. So now what I wanted to do is kind of change my morning routine to get started, and I found like his to be pretty interesting because he goes out and tackles his challenges first and then moves on. So with that being said, here was an interview that I was listening to. I just started listening to today that goes over his kind of morning routine because with the cancer stuff, kind of sleeping. What do I want to say? It's different, especially when you have like this stuff with your hands and all that funky crap. So anyway, I'm gonna play his video and just share it with you all.
Morning look like for you at the moment? Have you got a routine of some kind?
Yes, I run every single morning. So
What
that's
time are
the
you up? When are you waking up?
I'm up about 5:30. So every morning starts with a run. And that's because that's the one thing I hate to do more than anything in the world. So that's like my cup of coffee. And I'm all about armoring yourself. So the second you leave your house and the second you open your phone, the second you do any of that, you are now letting in poison in cancer. So
With that, like that's interesting. 'Cause yeah, it's true. It's like if you, I've noticed myself even doing this when I wake up in the morning. First thing I do is I have my phone with me, and as soon as I wake up, I just look at my phone, which some of it's because my kids are in Japan, but you know, I'm always looking at deals too and different things. So I think it's time to change it. Get away from the phone so much. I tell my parents not to watch TV so much now. It's time to get away from the phone.
I make sure a lot of things you can't avoid. So as I get up, I start to armor plate my mind and body. Like a person's going to war, you put your body armor on. That's what I'm doing on that run. I'm waking up and I'm giving myself all this armor. So when I come out in the world, now look at that phone, I'm ready. I'm not waking up late. I'm not rushing around. I'm not disorganized because I know I'm gonna get hit in the fucking mouth. There's an art to getting hit in the fucking mouth. And that is why these things are important. You have to wake up and you have to give yourself belief. You have to give yourself confidence. So that it starts with that run. So after the run, I come home, I eat something small, and I'm
How
in the
long's the
gym.
run typically at the moment?
Nowhere under 12 miles. So 12 miles is the minimum.
And what are you getting that done in? How long?
It depends. Right now I'm running heart rate. So I'm running like 8:15s, 8:30s, because I'm retraining right now
What's
because
that?
of
Is
the
that zone
leg,
2 for you?
zone two,
Yep.
because of the leg surgery I had. So I'm going back, starting from scratch. So anywhere from about an hour 30 to 2 hours, I run every day.
hmm
So
So you're
that's that.
fasted on the morning, up,
Yes.
straight out,
Straight out.
90 minutes to 2 hours of running,
Yep.
back, eat.
Eat, and I'm in the gym. So, and then after that, to whatever's on the plan for the day. That's how that works every day.
Are you still doing your stretching? Because you've got
Every
2 hours
night.
of you've got
Every night.
2 hours of meditation,
Mm-hmm.
90 minutes to 2 hours of running.
Mm-hmm.
How long's the gym session?
Depends. 40.
Like way back in the day when I used to do Muay Thai, um, kickboxing, I would just when I had my last business. I was doing a lot. I had to this quick video and sharing it with you while I watch it. But yeah, I'm kind of trying to retrain my mindset and stuff that I do. Actually, more of retrain your activities, because you retrain your activities, that falls into changing your mindset. So it's not easy to change your mindset. It's easier to change your routine. I guess something like that. So anyway, back to this guy.
45 to an hour and a half.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Stretching, meditation, run,
Mm-hmm.
eat,
Mm-hmm.
gym.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Is there something I'm missing, Jennifer? Oh yeah, yeah. Forgot about that.
You cycle as well?
Yeah.
How long are you cycling?
It just depends. I do stationary bike right now a lot.
Uh-huh. What are you
So-
using? Is it like a watt bike or something similar?
Yeah, something similar. So I put my bike on a like trainer,
Mhm.
and I cycle.
Yep.
At least 3 or 4 days a week, I'll do that. So
That's your day. There is no room for anything else.
yeah, there is a lot of room. So there's
Okay.
24 hours, and I use it all pretty well.
How's your sleep? What's your sleep like?
It's really good.
Okay.
It
Are you
is
getting
now.
8 hours-ish, something like that?
7, 8 hours.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, you'd need to with
Yeah.
this sort of volume.
7, 8 hours
And you're still doing your stretching stuff?
every night.
So
Every
you've got a
single night.
4-hour block, basically, of stretching and meditation?
Well,
Do you
no,
ever
that's all in one block.
You combine the two, right?
Yeah, that's all in one block.
Cool.
Yep.
That's one hell of a day.
It is, and it's been like that for 7 years.
But going back to what you said before about needing to cap success,
Mm-hmm.
you wouldn't be able to fit even 1/10 of that in
Exactly.
if you were chasing down.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's exactly it. So if all that's fucked up, that's why I got to cap success, because I can't put that in. And that's my growth factor. So, that's my human growth factor.
You said before about how you build up self-esteem and confidence and stuff.
Mhm.
And there's this quote from one of my friends, Alex Hormozy, that says, "You don't become confident by shouting affirmations in the mirror, but by having a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Outwork your self-doubt."
Yes. That's
Nailed.
nailed.
Completely nailed.
Yes, because a lot of people will, and some of these motivational people out here, it's the funniest thing in the world to me. They'll go and say, when you wake up in the morning, pound your chest, fucking look at yourself in the mirror and do all this fucking bullshit. I hope it works. What works for me is that everyday resume, the things I know I've accomplished, the things I know I've done, real hard work, the real calluses on my mind, the real calluses on my hands. That's it. You don't need to pound your chest in the mirror fucking anymore if you have that.
It seems like, especially with confidence, right, or self-esteem, there's a relationship between confidence and competence.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're looking to do is try and have what you believe that you can do be ahead of what you can do.
Right.
Now, you're not looking for it to be delusional. You don't want it to be able to believe that you can do something like fly, right? But you need to have a relationship between the two. But what people are asking for is for their confidence to be so far ahead of their competence that, or without having even been competent at anything in the beginning. And that's just delusion. That's fantasy.
Right. Well, I believe that you have to build belief. Belief is like, there's an after school special belief where the mom says, believe in yourself, and that's all great. But there's also a built belief. And the built belief is one where you are constantly, like for me, I came from a bad place. How I build belief is through the daunting tasks I put myself through. So that's proof positive that I can. So it correlates. And that's how this piece of shit kid I once thought I was built belief by saying, I was in 3 Hell Weeks. I went to Ranger School. I tried out for Delta Selection.
Undeniable stack of proof.
That is proof, motherfucker. So whenever you think you can't, the confidence comes from the thing that you built. You must build belief. You must build confidence. It can't be like, hey, I'm gonna go knock that shit out. You gotta look over here and say, I can knock that shit out. It's belief, and it's built on what you put in to yourself.
Another friend sent me a message this morning, knowing that we had this big thing that we've been working toward for a long time today. He said, Nietzsche said, "I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason to not pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges.
Nailed that one also.
2 for 2.
Nailed that one also, man.
Yeah, it's that dealing with laziness and self-doubt thing, I think. And I do wonder how many people use the look in the mirror, pound the chest, stare into your eyes, say your affirmations, don't get the results, and then lose confidence.
Well, that's part of it. A lot of it is limited horizons. Limited horizons are like, I use me as an example always. I came from a small town in Indiana where there was a handful of black families. And a lot of people in that town, when you come from a town of 8,000 people, it's like we had a local plant, Great Dane. And you're like, you know what? I want to work at Great Dane and get a house next to my mom. That's what you know. So many of us come from these small places in our mind that we're not willing to think outside of only what we've seen. Our mind works in such a small compartment. And one thing I was able to do was to dream. Many people, but don't make dreams your fucking master. But I was able to dream outside those fucking four walls of that small town. And until you're able to really put yourself into that dream, but don't make dreams your master, that's where you truly become what you're destined to become.
What do you mean, don't make dreams your master?
A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut. And all it is a motherfucking dream. They don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their fucking master.
Yep.
When you become the master of your fucking dream is when you say, I want to go be a Navy SEAL. And you say, okay, I'm going to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 fucking months. The dream was the one thing I thought about, and the dream was now gone. Now, what comes in, the dream goes away, and the fucking laundry list of fucking details and tasks come up. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. That's when you become the master of your dream. So a lot of people out there dreaming.
Ryan Holiday says, talking about the thing and doing the thing vie for the same resources. Allocate yours appropriately.
That's it. That's it.
That's the way it works as well. That's the way that the brain works. You can actually get these kicks of dopamine by telling your friends about, I'm going to be a Navy SEAL. I'm going to start my training next week. It's going to be great. I'm going to feel like this.
It feels good. It feels good to talk about that shit, man. It actually makes you feel good, makes you feel proud, all that shit. But guess what happens? That alarm clock goes off at 4 a.m. to train. I don't want to be a SEAL today. Or I don't want to be whatever today. I'll start tomorrow. And that's the usual pattern of people's lives. That's why I talk about clearing out the mind. Until you really want to do something, you're always going to be a talker. You always going to run your fucking mouth.
This episode is brought to you by Element. Element is a tasty electrolyte drink mix with
The stuff you talk about is so true, man. That's why I love that guy, dude, because he just kind of goes over similar stuff that I want to say that I've done, because I've done a lot too, but now I have to look back at the things. How can I say it? So, and that drive that I did over the weekend, a lot of that driving to keep me going too. Some of it was looking back at my past and then using that to go like, man, I've done this, I've done that. There was a time when, what was it, right after I got out of the Navy, I went to visit a buddy in Georgia, and I just got out of the Navy, right? I had a truck. It was a truck my dad built, and me and my dad built kind of deal. And I drove it from Oklahoma to Georgia, and as soon as I got to Georgia, I was showing it off to my friend, and I all of a sudden I heard a tick, and knew something was wrong with it. Anyway, we ended up changing the motor, pulling the motor out there. Or actually, not pulling the motor, but we changed the heads on the truck there in Georgia, so I stuck there a little bit longer. His brother actually gave me the set of heads off of his truck that I could put on mine. Anyway, to make a long story short, I left there, ended up going to Nashville and dropped a valve, and basically just dropped the valve, screwed up the motor, couldn't go any further. This is like in the middle of the winter. It was right after, I don't remember if it was after Christmas or right before Christmas. But anyway, it was super cold, freezing my ass off. There was a blizzard coming through, and I was stuck on the side of the road with no truck to drive home. And this is before cell phones and all that stuff. So I didn't have a phone. I didn't have money. I didn't have anything. So this is back in the day when you could do these things. Somebody pulled over to help me out. They took me to U-Haul in, I think it was Nashville. Yeah, Nashville. Took me to U-Haul, helped me. I called my parents, and my parents were able to. I think they had a credit card or something like that. They were able to. I was able to rent a U-Haul. Granted, I was under 24, so in order to rent some things, you have to be 24 at least. Anyway, it was a whole interesting situation. I ended up getting the U-Haul. These people were kind enough to let me. They were going to let me stay at their place because I didn't have any money or anything like that. I mean, I had some money to get home, but that was, I don't know, it was crazy. So anyway, I I dropped by there. We went and hooked up the truck, and then ended up going to their place. And I was looking at the weather, and I was like, on the TV, and I was like, man, I gotta go. Thanks for everything. They gave me a meal, everything. I was like, thanks for the offer, but I need to get back to home because if I don't go now, I'll be stuck here for a long time. And I didn't really have the money to have the U-Haul, I had to borrow all that stuff. Anyway, so stupid me as a kid, I didn't unlock the steering wheel in the truck, and ended up driving through a whole blizzard. Stayed up 24 hours plus, driving through a blizzard just to get home. I was popping caffeine pills, doing all this stuff just to kind of get home. My parents had met me at the border of Arkansas and Oklahoma, and they drove the rest of the way back. But I just remember, when I was doing my driving, some of the stuff I was thinking about was like that. Like I had been through that before, and I remember how rough that was. And this journey made it easier because I'd been through that before. You know what I mean? Like I tackled something like this before, so wasn't a big deal. I had all the things that I didn't have then. I had covered now, so it made it a lot easier. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Like I said, if you haven't watched David Goggins stuff, you should. It's pretty cool. The guy's super motivating, super motivates me, and I've seen him. He's just amazing. Anyway, that's it for today's coffee talk. So, lunch break, cancer talk. Hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully, the mic sounds better. If I'm still on the prowl to get another microphone, so we'll see. Anyway, peace.